Characters of Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar, একাই। Octavius Caesar, Mark Antony আর Aemilius Lepidus, Aemilius, Octavius Caesar, Mark Antony আর Aemilius Lepidus, মানে Octavius Anthony Lepidus এরা হচ্ছে triumvirs after the death of Julius Caesar. Triumvirs, triumvirs after the death of Julius Caesar. এবার সিসেরো, পাবলিয়াস, পপুলাস লেনা এরা কে? দ্য সেনেটর্স। সিসেরো, পাবলিয়াস সিম্বার আর পপুলিয়াস লেনা এরা হচ্ছে সেনেটর্স। মার্কাস ব্রুটাস, কেশিয়াস, কাসকা, ট্রেবোনিয়াস, লিগেরিয়াস, ডেসিয়াস ব্রুটাস, মেটিলাস সিম্বার, সিন্না এরা হচ্ছে কনস্পিরেটর্স আগেইনস্ট জুলিয়াস সিজার। নাম্বার ওয়ান মার্কাস ব্রুটাস, নাম্বার টু কেশিয়াস, নাম্বার থ্রি কাসকা, এটা হচ্ছে কেশিয়াসের বদলে কেইয়াস কেশিয়াস, কেইয়াস কেশিয়াস, মার্কাস ব্রুটাস, কেইয়াস কেশিয়াস, কাসকা, ট্রেবনিয়াস, লিগেরিয়াস, ডেসিয়াস ব্রুটাস, মেটিলাস সিম্বা, সিগনা। মার্কাস ব্রুটাস নাম্বার ওয়ান, কেশিয়াস নাম্বার টু, কাসকা নাম্বার থ্রি, ট্রেবনিয়াস ফোর, Ligarius 5, Decius Brutus 6, Metellus Cimber 7, and Cinna 8. 8 conspirators were there. 3 senators, Cicero, Publius, Populus, Lena. 3 triumvirs. These are Octavius, Antony, Lepidus. The tribunes, Flavius, Merulus. Artemidorus, a schoolmaster. Cinna, a poet. Lucilius, Titinius, Messala, young Cato, Volumnius. Lucilius 1, Titinius 2, Messala 3, young Cato 4, Volumnius 5. These are the friends of Brutus and Cassius. এবার Varro, Clitus, Claudius, Strato, Lucius, Dardanius, Flavius, Labio. They are the servants attending Brutus. How many servants are there? Let us go alphabetically. C for Clitus, C for Claudius, D for Dardanius, F for Flavius, GHIJKL, L for Lucius, L for Labio. Then LMNOPQRS, S for Strato. So 1 and V for Varro, VARRO. So 1 Varro, 2 Clitus, 3 Claudius, 4 Strato, 5 Lucius, 6 Dardanius, 7 Flavius, 8 Labio. So 8 servants and 8 conspirators. Pindera, servant to Cassius. Calpurnia, Caesar's wife. Portia, Brutus's wife. Then a soothsayer, another poet is there. Senators, citizens, attendants, and soldiers. This is the full dramatist persona, the play with all the dramatist persona. Now the four most important characters of Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar himself. Julius Caesar is described as a great Roman general and senator. He is aware of his greatness, others to acknowledge his enviable position. Brutus refers to him as the foremost man of all this world. Julius Caesar is depicted as a great Roman general and a senator. He is aware of his greatness, others to acknowledge his enviable position. Brutus refers to him as the foremost man of this world. About weakness of Julius Caesar. In this play, Caesar makes only 3 brief appearances and he is killed in the middle of the play. On a few occasions, when he does appear, he is shown in an unfavorable light. According to Casca, when Caesar was offered the crown, He could not endure the foul breath of the applauding crowd and fell down in the marketplace. According to Casca, Caesar was যখন সিজারকে অফার করা হয়েছিল crown, he could not endure the foul breath of the applauding crowd and fell down in the marketplace and foamed at the mouth, মানে foamed at the mouth. Nor is this failing sickness is only his only infirmity. একমাত্র এটা failing sickness টা একমাত্র ওর মানে infirmity মানে আহ, দুর্বল হওয়ার একমাত্র নজির ছিল না। He had never ever in his best days the physical endurance of Cassius, যে physical endurance Cassiusের ছিল তখনও তার কোনোদিনই সিজারের ছিল না। As the anecdote anecdote of the swimming match in the Tiber proves. The anecdote of the swimming match in the Tiber proved. He is also deaf in 1 year. মানে a serious handicap for a leader of men. একটা চোখে একটা কানে নাকি কালা ছিল সিজার। He was deaf in a 1 year. A serious handicap for a leader of men. এবার superstitious beliefs সিজারের কি কি ছিল? Caesar is depicted as a highly superstitious, a trait he hides under the grab of masculinity. প্রচন্ড superstitious, যেই ট্রেটটাও হাইড করতো আন্ডার দ্য গ্র্যাব অর গাইস অফ masculinity. At the Lupercalia, he enjoys Calpurnia to stand directly in Antonius's way. And at the Lupercalia he enjoys Calpurnia to stand directly in Antonius' way, and he impresses on Antony the observance of the customary ritual. ও মানে অ্যান্টনিকে বললো কাস্টমারি রিচুয়ালটা অবজার্ভ করতে। Though he tries not to show it, he is really impressed by his wife's cries in her dream. ওই যে যে ওয়াইফ যে কেঁদেছিল ড্রিমে, এটাতেও দেখাতে চাইছিল না কি কিন্তু হি ওয়াজ রিয়েলি ইমপ্রেসড, but he got agitated. Alarmed by her evil dreams, he sends a man to consult the priest and to leave a recourse to sacrifice. Priesটের কাছে sacrifice পাঠালো. He yields to Calpurnia entreaties and decides for a moment not to go to the Senate. He yields to Calpurnia's entreaties. মানে ক্যালপার্নিয়া যাকে প্লিড করেছিল সেনেটে না যেতে, ওটা he yields to Calpurnia's entreaties and decides a moment not to for a moment not to decides for a moment not to go to the Senate. এবার প্রাইড ছিল সিজারের কিরকম? Caesar is proud and he believes in his own irresolute behavior. He frequently refers to himself in the third person and ignores the warnings of his well-wishers like Calpurnia, Artemidorus, and Soothsayers. Caesar প্রচন্ড pride ছিল. He frequently refers to himself as the third person and ignores the warnings of his well-wishers. Well-wisher their warning কে ignore করে দিল Calpurnia, Artemidorus, and Soothsayer. He says that he is not afraid of any danger, and in fact, danger is afraid of him. In the Senate House, when Metellus Simba submits a petition to him, he rejects the petition and speaks to Metellus Simba in an arrogant manner, calling him a car. কার বললো মেটিলাস সিম্বারকে অ্যারোগ্যান্ট ম্যানারে কথা বলো। ইনডিড সিজার্স অ্যারোগ্যান্ট shows him in a very bad light. এবার inconsistent. Caesar has been depicted as an inconsistent and inflexible ruler. He puts up a courage front, but is afraid of the senators. He hesitates to accept the crown, but would gladly have it. একদিকে হেজিটেট করে অ্যাকসেপ্ট করতে ক্রাউন, আবার পেলেও বেশ ভালো হয়। To Artemidorus, who intercepts him on his way to the Senate House and entreats him to read first a scroll, then touches him nearly, he grandly replies, "What touches us ourselves shall be last served." To Metellus Cimber, who petitions on his knees that his banished brother may be recalled, he yet more grandly answers, Caesar did never wrong but with just cause. কি Caesar depicted inconsistent and flexible behavior, puts courageous front কিন্তু afraid of the senators, he hesitates to accept the crown কিন্তু পেলেই বেশ gladly have it. to to Artemidorus, who intercepts him on his way, যে তার রাস্তা আটকালো, intercepts him on his way to the Senate House and entreats, intercepts on his way, or entreats him to read a scroll that touches him nearly. He grandly replies, "What touches us ourselves shall be last served." বললো যে তোমার জন্য এটা যে খুব দরকার, এটা ভীষণ ইম্পর্টেন্ট কথা, হ্যাভ টু মানে মুখস্থই করতে হবে। টু Artemidorus, who intercepts him on his way to the Senate House and entreats him to read first that touches him nearly, he grandly replies, "What touches us ourselves shall be last served." To Metellus Cimber, who petitions on his knees that his banished brother may be recalled, he yet more grandly answers, "Caesar did never wrong but with just cause." Caesar did, যখন Metellus Cimber, who petitions on his knees that his banished brother may be recalled, তখন Caesar grandly answers that he would never wrong but with just cause. এবার Caesar's greatness. Caesar's greatness reflected throughout the play by phrases mentioned by both the followers and the enemies like Caesar has got the start of the majestic world. Follower enemy দুদলই সিজারের greatness নিয়ে বলেছে। কেউ বলেছে Caesar has got the start of the majestic world. He bestrides it like a colossus. His fall is heralded by a strange impatience of the heavens, and by portentous things which shake the minds of stoutest of the Romans. Cassius, meeting Casca in the storm, speaks of Caesar as a man most like this dreadful night, prodigious, grown, and fearful. When Caesar is about to die, all the sway of art shakes like a thing unfirm. কি বলছে? He his fall is heralded by a strange impatience of the heavens. মানে ও যে ফলটা যে মানে যে ধ্বংস হয়ে গেল সিজার, সেটা heralded by strange impatience of heavens and by portentous things which shake the minds of the stoutest of Romans, এবং এমন portentous portentous এমন ঘটনা কিছু ঘটেছে যেটা শেক করে দিল minds of the stoutest of the Romans. Cassius, meeting Casca in the storm, speaks of Caesar as a man most like this dreadful night, prodigious, grown, and fearful. When Caesar is about to die, all the sway of earth shakes like a thing unformed. এবার conclusion. For dramatic reasons, Caesar's faults have been emphasized and his virtues have been mentioned only casually. Yet his greatness, his power and influence is felt throughout the play. The conspiracy against him occupies the first part of the play. His assassination comes in the middle of the play, and the latter half of the play shows the influence which Caesar's spirit exercises over the Roman world. The entire action of the play centers around him. We may conclude that with Brutus's dying words, "O Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet." এবার Marcus Brutus. Marcus Brutus, an honorable man. Brutus is referred to as honorable. Cassius refers to his noble ancestors who had always fought for the cause of liberty. Brutus is referred to honorable. Cassius refers to his noble ancestors who has always fought for the cause of liberty. Brutus is a Stoic. This is to say, one who has cultivated the virtue of absolute detachment and who does his duty without caring for his rewards. Brutus is referred to as honorable. Cassius refers to his noble ancestors who has always fought for the cause of liberty. Brutus হচ্ছে stoic, that is to say, who has cultivated the virtue of absolute detachment and who does his duty without caring for his rewards. কোনো রিওয়ার্ড পাওয়া ছাড়াই, কেয়ার না করে সেসব কাজ করে। He is devoted to the welfare of the country no matter at what cost. He is devoted to the welfare of the country no matter at what cost. No one can doubt that he joins the conspiracy through the devotion of his republican principles, which are jeopardized by Caesar's existence. Excellent. No one can doubt that he joins the conspiracy through devotion to his because of his devotion to republican principles which are jeopardized by Caesar's existence. Caesar existence এর জন্য সব jeopardized তছনছ হয়ে যাচ্ছিল his এবার Brutus's essential humanity. Shakespeare has humanized Brutus's character by giving a glimpses of his natural feelings as a man from time to time, enough to gain our sympathy for him. Brutus is kind and loving towards Lucius, his servant boy. It is toward his wife that Brutus shows full wealth of his affectionate nature. He is anxious to keep his worries away from her. কখনো ওয়াইফকে ওয়ারির মধ্যে টানে না. He shares with her his innermost thoughts, a relationship very different from সিজার অ্যান্ড ক্যালপার্নিয়া। সিজার কিন্তু ক্যালপার্নিয়াকে সবকিছু বলে না, কিন্তু ব্রুটাস অনেকটাই বলে। biased thinking, ব্রুটাসের ভালো মানে biased thinking কেমন? ব্রুটাস firmly believes in democracy and republicanism. Hatred of monarchy and dread of tyranny are so firmly rooted in his nature that the instigations of Cassius were scarcely necessary to impel him to join the conspiracy against Caesar. এই ব্রুটাস ভীষণ ডেমোক্রেসি আর রিপাবলিকানিজম ভালোবাসতো, হেট্রেড অফ মোনার্কি এত বেশি ছিল আর ড্রেড অফ টাইরানি এত মারাত্মক ছিল, সো ফার্মলি রুটেড ইন হিজ নেচার দ্যাট দি ইনস্টিগেশনস অফ কেশিয়াস ওয়াজ স্কেয়ারসলি নেসেসারি, কোনো প্রয়োজন ছিল না টু ইম্পেল হিম টু জয়েন দ্য কনস্পিরেসি এগেইনস্ট Caesar. The chain of reasoning by which he persuades himself to join the conspiracy shows that his thinking process is diseased. The chain of reasoning by which he persuades himself to join the conspiracy shows that his thinking process is diseased. He knew that Caesar is not a tyrant by nature, but then there was a possibility that sovereignty might change his nature. Such is the erroneous argument by which Brutus arrives at the conclusion that Caesar must be killed. His biased thinking is the cause of his tragedy. An incorrigible idealist, Brutus is noble and patriotic. He is also an incorrigible idealist, not at all fit for the role of politician and a statesman, which he assumes in the drama. It is his idealism which is the cause of his failure and the downfall of the conspirators. It is his idealism and lack of worldly wisdom which makes him commit errors. He is tortured by conflicting motives before his mind is made up. In Cassius, hatred obscures all the other consideration. Hatred সব consideration কে obscure করে দেয়. He is in consequence a far better leader. He wants to murder Antony. He objects to give permission to Antony to speak at Caesar's funeral. He counsels delay in joining battle at Philippi. In each case, Cassius was absolutely right, but Brutus overruled him. The philosopher therefore led the ruin of the statesman. The philosopher মানে ব্রুটাসকে ফিলোসোফার বলছে আর লেড দ্য রুইন অফ দ্য স্টেটসম্যান, স্টেটসম্যানটা হচ্ছে কেশিয়াস। এবার কেশিয়াসকে shrewd intriguer. Cassius is presented as a foil to Brutus. He is worldly wise and shrewd. He is described by Caesar as lean, gaunt, hungry, disinclined to sports and revelry, spending his time in reading, observation, and reflection. He organizes the conspiracy against Caesar, but his reasons are personal rather than patriotic. He bears a grudge against Caesar and is jealous of his growing popularity and power. He points out Caesar's weakness to Brutus, his commitment, in spite of his jealousy. Cassius is a man of commitment to his cause. He is a follower of Epicurus and believes in a doctrine that frees him from superstitions and fear of death. He is enthusiastic for establishing republicanism and ready to sacrifice everything for it. When he hears that Caesar is to wear the crown, his resolution is prompt and Roman like. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius. Unscrupulous. Cassius into unscrupulous. Cassius is practical and does not care much about the morality of his deeds. He acts according to the demands of the situation. Thus, he does not hesitate to raise money by extortion and bribery when circumstances require it. He knows human nature and understands that they are few, so firm that cannot be seduced. He therefore suggests that they should bind themselves with an oath. He uses right arguments with Brutus to win him over to the purpose and knows exactly what manner to adopt towards Casca and other conspirators. Eber practical and efficient. Cassius is a man of the world and an experienced soldier. In every matter in which Brutus overrules him, he is right and Brutus is wrong. He has an idea of the real nature of Antony, while Brutus regards him merely as a frivolous young man. Cassius suggests that Antony should be killed. Later on, he does not like that Antony should speak in Caesar's funeral, and events prove that he was right. He has great practical ability, takes things seriously, and impresses others with a seriousness of purpose. He is quick in action, ready to take advantage of every opportunity. Thorough Roman. Brutus calls him the last of all the Romans. He was Roman in courage and determination, in the practical talent for organization and keen penetration, looking right through the deeds of men. He was a Roman, too, in his love for power and pleasure in the use of it. In drawing Cassius, Shakespeare has depicted the national characteristics that made Rome powerful. Ever last important character, Mark Antony. Very, very important character. Mark Antony is a Roman soldier and a royal friend of Caesar. He is practical, shrewd, and a foil to Brutus. Personal traits. Mark Antony comes to prominence after the murder of Caesar. Earlier is given to revelry and merrymaking. Caesar trusts him and makes him the executor of his will. Cassius has an inkling of his hidden abilities and so wants that he should be killed along with Caesar. Brutus feels that Antony is a mere limb of Caesar and can do no harm after Caesar's death. এইটা যে belief ছিল যে it was the biggest blunder. Brutus feels that Antony is a mere limb of Caesar and can do no harm after Caesar's death. Kintu Antony is a shrewd planner. Antony understands the nature of conspirators as well as he reads the mind of the mob. While he praises Caesar, he befools the conspirators. He masks his hostility beneath his natural emotion at the death of his friend. He maddens the crowd with facts half revealed and arguments partly explained. He so works upon the mob that Brutus and Cassius are forced to ride like madmen out of Rome. It is only when he is alone he openly gives vent to his sorrow and reveals his plans. It is only when he is alone he openly gives vent to his sorrow and reveals his plans. এবার অ্যান্টনি কিন্তু একদম unprincipled, entirely unprincipled. After the crisis over, Antony finds himself in a position of great power. Octavius the heir is young and can be guided. Antony regards Lepidus as a wheeling ass. And Octavius, Antony and Lepidus যে ছিল তিনজন, এদেরকে কি বলেছিল বোধহয় ট্রায়ামভিরস। হ্যাঁ, এই যে ট্রায়ামভিরসরা ছিল, এদের মধ্যে লেপিডাসকেও মনে করতো উইলিং অ্যাজ টু বি ইউজড অ্যান্ড দেন টার্নড away. His treatment of Lepidus, whom he proposes to use first for his own purpose and then to discard him, shows his selfishness. His treatment of Lepidus, whom he proposes to use first for his own purpose and then to discard him, shows his selfishness. His conduct in connection with the preparation of the least of those who are to be killed shows that he is entirely cruel and heartless. His conduct in connection with the preparation of the least of those who are to be killed shows that he is entirely cruel and heartless. Ebaro, excellent orator. His wonderful funeral oration appeals to the crowd's emotions, in contrast to the reasons and arguments put forward by Brutus. His wonderful funeral oration appeals to the crowd's emotions in contrast to the reasons and arguments put forward by Brutus. Antony plays on the mob as a musician on instrument. He goes from praise of the conspirators to the praise of Caesar. He then refers to his show of personal grief. He maintains suspense regarding Caesar's will till he has lashed them into unstable eagerness. Very important. He maintains suspense regarding Caesar's will till he has lashed them into unsatiable eagerness. Unsatiable eagerness যতক্ষণ না ওদের মধ্যে তৈরি হলো, he maintains suspense regarding Caesar's will till he drives the mob into unsatiable eagerness. His final appeal to their hatred to ingratitude makes the crowd rise to mutiny. His final appeal to their hatred to ingratitude makes the crowd rise to mutiny. Now, nowhere else in history such a genius is seen with masterly insight into human nature. Nowhere else in history such a genius is seen with masterly insight into human nature.